He kōna ipurangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
I'm into saving money.
It's being smart with your choices.
I'm always out for a bargain somewhere.
The longer you've been on the planet, probably the wiser you are. That's obviously a bit of a generalisation, but when it comes to being thrifty,
The older generation are much better at it than we were.
As I've got older, you tend to be a little bit more wiser with your money.
Kia ora, I'm Katy Gosset and welcome to Thrift. Our saying in this episode comes from Oscar Wilde, and being the great wit that he was, you're probably thinking he'd turn up at some point. This particular saying is, wisdom comes with winters. I like it for its kind of simple poetry, really, and the idea that with winter, a time of cold, basically, and sometimes adversity, one learns. And if you've had a few winters, then maybe you're wiser than most. So here I am in Dunedin in winter, and I'm going to talk to some of our older residents about what they've learnt.
Hello, Katy.
Hello!
How are you?
People like Neil,
Neil Macandrew. It's a bit cold, isn't it?
which is appropriate given our wintry theme. So, let's get to know Neil.
I'm 80 years old, born and bred in Dunedin.
He spent his working years as a sales rep, travelling around the South Island from Geraldine to Bluff.
Selling hardware, tools, kitchenware. Loved it.
And even if it can be a bit cold in these parts, he's a true Dunedinite.
Fourth generation, lived here all my life. Oh, it's just a stunning place.
But now living on a pension, I figure Neil is well placed to give us some money-saving tips, starting with food, because outside of housing and utilities, it's the biggest bill that most of us face. As we've heard in previous episodes, a lot of people have gardens, and Neil does grow some of his own veggies. He loves eating fresh. But the problem is,
Often it goes to waste, it goes in the green bin.
so what's the alternative? Well, we're going to take a wee trip downstairs to the basement.
Yeah. Okay, this is my freezer.
Frozen foods are very much his go-to.
What have we got? Frozen fish, meat, vegetables, ice cream, pies.
And all of this means that Neil can have whatever portion size he feels like with a given meal without wasting the rest of the food.
For example, that's a bag of broccoli.
It cost him $4, but it's lasting a long time.
I take out so much that I need per meal and then just pop it back into the freezer. To me, that's a thrifty way, as far as I'm concerned, of my meals.
Of course, you can freeze leftover fresh veggies, but they do need a bit of preparation sometimes.
Apparently you've got to blanch it. I'm not sure. I better not say too much if I get myself into hot water.
Which is ironic. Well, that's what blanching is, you know, putting it in hot water.
Oh, is it? Yeah, well, I've learned something.
And when it comes to filling the freezer, and this freezer is pretty full, Neil tends to look around.
See who's got whatever on special that I need. That's a good motto, shop around. There's always bargains out there.
We'll come back to Neil. But just a hop, skip and a jump away from him in St Kilda
Hi, come in.
Hello! Is my other guest in this episode, Betty Laing. She actually ducks away when I arrive to grab some...
Lipstick. I had to put some on.
Oh, you didn't need to put lipstick on for me. Betty's semi-retired but still works part-time in an early childhood centre.
I like gardening and visiting people. Going to church.
Do you mind my asking how old you are?
I'm 79.
So I'm going to talk food with Betty as well, although she's less about the blanching and more about the baking, which, as it turns out, is good news for me. It smells amazing in here.
Oh, I just did make some biscuits.
Oh, they look yummy.
Yes, they're just coconut biscuits.
Now, this is my favourite type of interview. Betty offers me a coffee and home baking. But what about the rest of her diet? Like Neil, Betty doesn't like to waste anything, but she has quite a different approach.
There's not really a lot in my fridge.
Could we have a wee look? Go on. Sure enough, Betty's fridge is pretty minimal.
I've got carrots and broccoli.
And cucumber.
Yes.
She buys only the veggies she likes and knows she'll eat.
I actually love roast vegetables.
And every ingredient's accounted for in her meal planning.
And I had a couple of friends for tea, so I make a big tray of roast vegetables and the whole lot went.
Also in her fridge, she always has butter and dairy products because she's always been a baker.
I do like my bickies.
I like her bickies too. and she believes making your own is cost effective.
One batch of biscuits, that's probably the equivalent of 2 packets of bought biscuits.
But baking also calls for some thrifty measures. Betty's trying to make her butter go a bit further by mixing in some other surreptitious ingredients.
And I had a reasonable spoonful of margarine in there as well.
Not that I noticed the difference myself. She's also swapped out olive oil for a cheaper type of oil. And then there are those things that you find in the back of the pantry that you kind of forgot were there. In Betty's case, it was almond flour.
So I've put it to the front of the cupboard, and now every time I bake, I just throw in some of that.
In fact, it's also in the bickies. Again, not that I could tell. Like a lot of people we've talked to on Thrift, Betty also bulks up meals with extra vegetables that aren't necessarily in the recipe.
Grate up carrot, you wouldn't even know it was in there probably. My daughter doesn't like broccoli, but you can cut that up quite finely and she doesn't even know it's there.
Didn't you say she was grown up?
Yes.
You're still hiding the veggies for her.
Just broccoli, yeah.
My daughter hates mushrooms and makes me wonder if I'll still be hiding them when she's in her 30s. Betty's approach to life, the kind of food she likes to eat, the way she saves money, it all really harks back to the way she was brought up. It was a simple life, and one she believes has lessons for us now. So tip 2 is really about keeping things simple, spacing out your treats, and making the most of what you do have.
That's right. Use whatever you've got.
And look after it.
I try and get things fixed if I can.
Whether that's your clothes,
Doing a wee bit of mending.
or your car.
Just be sort of gentle with your brake and your accelerator, and I'm sure that must cut down on petrol.
And if you maintain what you've got, you shouldn't need to buy more.
One of the biggest things is just watching what you buy and think, well, do I really need that?
I guess it's about being content with what you have.
I am old and I don't spend so much from my clothes or from my shoes because I have enough.
As for Neil, he admits that as a pensioner, he lives pretty much from paycheck to paycheck, and that means these kind of decisions need to be made every week.
Can I afford to go away for a weekend? I might think, well, next week I've got the insurance bill to pay, so I'll give it a miss.
But he adjusts what he's doing to make things work.
I might think, well, because I want to go away next week, I won't buy as much food.
Another good option is leaving the car in the garage a few days a week.
Use the bus quite a bit, so it's cheap for me and it fills the day in for me as well.
Being a gold card place, we get all the buses for free.
Or you can walk, like Neil does sometimes, to do his shopping.
If I don't run my car for a few days, it's going to save me a bit of money.
In other words,
It's a bit of a juggling act, really.
like Betty, Neil gets some of his money management techniques from the era he was brought up in. He was born just after the end of the Second World War.
Mum would say, look, I can't buy this for groceries this week, but we'll get it next week because they were rationed.
Now he says it's like going back in time.
Like everyone, you've got to get your priorities right.
Still rationing. You're rationing now in a different way.
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
Now, of course, we all have different priorities, but getting into tip 3 now. I think we could all agree that one thing we shouldn't ration is our social times and our relationships with others. Now, for Betty,
Well, I still go out for coffee.
she visits friends, they visit her, and she has a weekly lunch outing with a group of ladies.
Quite a basic place that we go to, so the meals aren't expensive.
She also socialises at church and seeks out free activities.
Galleries, museum, there's lots of things you can go to.
When it comes to Neil,
This is my diary here.
he's a busy guy.
This is my lifeline.
At a glance, it's pretty chocker. A bit like his freezer, really.
My favourite club, or one of the many, is the Otago Historic Military Group.
When he says many clubs, he's really not exaggerating. For example,
Another group I'm in is the Otago Orphans Entertainers Club.
and it doesn't stop there.
I'm in 2 men's friendship clubs.
Frankly, I'm amazed he was able to fit me in.
If I don't write them in my diary, I'll forget about them.
Just to be clear, I'm not as old as Neil, but I can relate to this. So how is this thrifty? Well, it means that Neil's out and about.
Not sitting at home on your own, eating too much. Because you're not eating so much, you're not going to spend so much money.
And because he's not socialising at home, he's also saving on power and heating. It's not why he's joined the clubs. He likes the social side.
I've made a lot of new friends through these groups, really good people.
But there is a Thrifty bonus.
The subs for virtually all of them are $20 to $30 a year. To me, that's cheap entertainment. It's good value for money. Oh, another group I'm in is Tuesdays, the St Kilda Men's Club.
Crikey, we're still going. Neil definitely has a better social life than me. And also, isn't it Tuesday today? It looks like we're on the move. Just as well it was in the diary. So we arrive at a hardware store with a cafe attached, where we strike a little hiccup.
Would you like a coffee?
This is awkward. Neil's wanting to shout me, but I'm supposed to be helping people be thrifty, not depleting their funds.
No, here. No,
Please.
Our remonstrating goes on for a bit, but I give in because shouting someone is one of life's pleasures.
This is a treat.
So now I'm a guest of the St Kilda Men's Friendship Club, who are a lively bunch to interview.
No bad language. Oh, because it's going on the radio.
Neil has confided to me that his nickname is Macca the Yakka, but his club mates, or as one of them put it,
So I call us recycled teenagers.
they have their own thrifty tips, from juggling bills
We've worked it out so that the payments come out, say, 2 one week and then 2 the following week.
to comparing prices
Well, you just got to spend wisely nowadays, haven't you? Look for the best things around. Shop around, yeah.
being aware of coupons and discounts,
5% off the insurance.
But also you get a discount off one of the petrol stations.
and then one tip that comes up time and time again.
Having a thrifty wife. Having a thrifty wife helps a lot.
How do you make ends meet?
A thrifty wife, that's right.
So if you've got a thrifty wife, that's great, but for everyone else, let's recap. To save on food, avoid waste, whether that's by keeping most of your food in the freezer and taking out just what you need, or substituting ingredients to clear everything from your pantry. Do use what you have and look after it by mending and repairing. Alternate low-budget weeks with ones where you allow a few treats and outings. It's a kind of rationing, but it's on your terms. And look at clubs and groups that are light on membership costs, but big on friendship. Some wise ways from those who have a few winters under their belts.
You've still got to enjoy life, and we've only got today. We don't know how many days we're going to have, do we?
I'm very lucky, still got my health, I can still pay my bills. Doing well. Happy as.
Next time on Thrift, how to cook for big groups of people, or at the bowling club in Dunedin that serves up 700 low-cost meals a day. To hear that episode and others, follow and listen to Thrift on your favourite podcast app or at rnz.co.nz. Many thanks to my delightful guests in the set, Neil Macandrew and the recycled teenagers at the St Kilda Men's Friendship Club, and Betty Laing. Thanks for the bickies, Betty. This podcast is produced and presented by me, Katy Gosset. Alex Harmer is our engineer, and Tim Watkin is the executive producer of podcasts and series. If you have a tip for us, you can email thrift@rnz.co.nz. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite.